Hi everyone, I am meteorologist Rob Carlmark and I'm a weather forecaster here for ABC station in Northern California, but I think that where I live doesn't really matter because I deal with the same things that everybody is dealing with across the United States, and we're trying to figure out the complexity of recycling. It used to be pretty easy. You would just take things that you normally would think that you can recycle, like paper or glass or plastic, and you throw it in your blue recycle bin, and then it goes off and gets recycled somewhere else. But as we're learning, that whole system is breaking down rapidly, and we need to focus more on what we're doing in our own homes to try and help that process, to really make sure that what you throw away in your recycling bin is actually going to get recycled, or at least has the best chance to be recycled. So I want to start off with some of the easy things in your home, and then we're going to go down the list of complexity, and there is a solution to try and figure out, can I recycle this or not, and what's likely going to happen to it. Are you ready? Here we go. Some of the easiest things to recycle happen to be paper. The periodicals you get in your mailbox, just regular old paper, cardboard, all those Amazon boxes that go on and on and on forever. You want to flatten them, put it in your blue recycle bin, and it can be recycled. Even the tape is made of a material that can be recycled. This specific kind of tape, if it's that clear plastic packing tape, you want to rip that off before you recycle this, because what you want to avoid, and this is the theme in all of this, is to avoid mixing things, because all of this ends on a conveyor belt, and they actually have people or machines that very quickly sort all of this, so make it easier for the person or the machine. This is another thing that you can recycle. It's made of one thing. When you start mixing paper and plastic, they're not going to do it. It's too complex for them to figure out. It's going to go in either the landfill or they're going to burn it. Then we get to glass. Glass is an easy one. We love glass. You can use it a million times. It's easy to recycle, but you have to make sure it's the right kind of glass. Let's just say you have a wine glass and it breaks. Well, it's glass, so you can recycle it. No, usually anything other than what you consume for wine or for beer bottles or other things is mixed in with other components that they can't recycle. So if it doesn't look like something they're used to, it's going to go in the landfill or it's going to go somewhere else. They love aluminum cans. It's easy to pick out. You already paid usually a recycling fee before time, so instead of taking it back to get your money back, you're putting in the recycle bin, so you're actually donating that money to the recycling center. But in any case, if it's easier for you, aluminum is a great one. So then we start to get into some of the more complex things. Well, ceramic, it's kind of like glass, but is it? They could probably find some way to recycle it. Nope, ceramic does not work. If it's in great condition, if it's in poor condition, it doesn't matter. It goes to the landfill. They do not like ceramic. Then we get to plastic. This is where it gets very difficult. Not too long ago, they'd take any kind of plastic. Then, because of the changes in China and Asia, they had to reduce the number. The number is really what you want to be looking for. At the bottom, you want to look for the number inside of the triangle. It used to matter. They would take 1, 2, or 3. Now they'll take all kinds, but they really want 1, 2, or 3. Those are heavy, thick plastics. You know what I'm talking about. Milk jugs, detergent containers, things like that. It's heavy, it's dense, and what happens typically is that it gets downcycled. They crush it down, make it into smaller particles, they melt it, and then they make it into something new. Maybe not a milk carton, but maybe into some fiber for clothes or for something else. And then we get to the most difficult stuff of all. What about all this crazy stuff? Well, here's metal, probably, plastic. Well, what are we going to do with this? No, anything that's mixed, they're not going to do it. Wood, no. Metal containers out of one kind of metal, maybe. These clamshell containers that are everywhere, maybe, likely not. And then if it's mixed with anything, see the soy sauce here? Nope, that's called contamination. And what may be recycled, and this is a good high quality number 1, because it has food on it, it contaminates the whole bin. And that means they're going to get rid of it. So even with your best intentions, if you don't wash this out in the sink, it's going to become trash or it's going to be burned. And then one more thing, you get into all this mixed stuff. Well, probably this can go, right? It's paper, but then it's got bubble wrap on the inside. So again, it's these mixed things that just don't go. Luckily, all these recycling centers have a guide. You can typically type in exactly what you are concerned about or what you have questions about. In Sacramento, it's called the Waste Wizard. You just type in exactly what you're concerned about, and then you know. And the great thing about it is that then you know from now on, and you can tell your friends, you can tell your family. Let's face it, This is a lot of work. No one really wants to be doing this. We'd rather have the recycling center do this or some other country do it. But at this point, because the whole recycling system is so broken and fragmented and has so many issues, if you are concerned where this goes and you want to say in it, you have to do your part so it can go to the correct place. And that's really the only thing we can do in this whole cycle of recycling.